Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and today we are talking about named items, specifically what I believe are the top 5 named items you need in the Division 2. Now, I always find it important to mention that I'm not claiming that these are necessarily the, quote, best named items in the game, because with the vast variety of build types, playstyles, and all of that you can create, who's to say what's better over another? No, rather, I'd present you all with a range of named items that are statistically strong, absolutely, but also represent a diverse number of use cases across PvE, PvP, damage builds, skill builds, you get the idea. And so if you find yourself wondering what you should try and go after, hopefully this gives you a better picture on what some of the more popular and highly desirable ones are across various build types. Also note that these are not going to be listed in any particular order, they're all pretty darn good. If you end up enjoying the video, a like would be greatly appreciated, and be sure to click that subscribe button as well as turning on the notification bell so that you don't miss future content and guides like these. Without further ado, let's get into this. Okay, starting off, you knew it had to be on here. We've got the Fox's Prayer knee pads. Now, this is probably the most popular named item in the game, and that is purely because of how great of an addition it is to any damage-based build. The Fox's Prayer are an Overlord branded piece, giving 10% rifle damage as the one piece bonus, 20% accuracy as the second, and 10% weapon handling as the third. Honestly, though, those hardly even matter. The Fox's named item uniqueness is the fact that it comes with 8% damage to targets out of cover as one of its attributes, and that's notable because DTOC is a multiplicative damage source, which for any of you who don't know is one of the most desired damage types in the game, because it's just giving you more damage than flat values do. DTOC is usually only available on weapons as an attribute there, so it's present on a gear piece like this is what makes the Foxes so desirable. And it means that anytime you're fighting a target out of cover, you're going to be dealing that extra multiplicative damage to them, so it's very easy to proc and you get a huge reward. These knee pads are in the general loot pool for you to farm, so you can pick them up from anywhere, but your best bet is going to be by playing content with targeted Overlord or knee pads. Next up, we have the Contractor's gloves. Now, in many ways, these are adjacent to the Foxes that we just discussed, but I would be remiss for not including them here. They're also super good. Similarly to Foxes, Contractors come with an incredibly strong multiplicative damage source, typically only found on weapons, and that is damage to armor. The Contractors come on the Petrov brand, which grants 10% LMG damage as the one-piece bonus, 10% weapon handling as the two-piece, and 20% ammo capacity at the 3. So this can pair really well with LMG dedicated builds, but more widely, the 8% DTA value on here is just good across many damage-based builds, and again, that's because of that insanely strong multiplicative damage source. Now, notably, the Contractors do have a few more things to keep in mind. Their extra damage does not apply to the likes of Warhounds or Heavy, since the game does not consider those enemies' armor as actual armor, so there is some consideration to be had for whether this is worth running over other things. But the simple facts are that this is still a crazy good item, and used in combination with the Fox's Prayer or other DTA sources, you're going to be outputting huge damage values. If you want to pick this one up, it is out in the general loot pool, so you can get it from anywhere, but the best chances will come from playing content with targeted Petrov or gloves. Then we come to the Picaro's holster, and this piece is also regarded as one of the best for damage-based builds, but it also has huge utility and potential with hybrid builds, and is easily one of the most flexible named items in the game. It is a Brazos branded piece, which has 10% skill haste as the one-piece bonus, 1 skill tier as the second, more on that in a moment, and 20% magazine capacity as the 3. And the reason why the Picaro's is so good is because one of its attributes comes as 15% weapon damage. Now, you cannot also roll 15% damage into the normal core attribute slot, so you're limited to either armor or skill tier, but the sheer ability to get 2 cores on one non-exotic piece is a huge game changer. And it means you can work it into damage builds really well, not compromising on DPS output, but getting some extra survivability out of it. But you can also find some really clever skill and damage hybrid builds to make use of. Combining this with the likes of the Capacitor or other blended talents and bonuses, that can be super effective. And as I mentioned a moment ago, the 2-piece bonus of the Brazos brand is a skill tier, so if you use the Picaros with the Ninja Bike backpack, for example, just from those 2 pieces alone, you get 6 core attributes, 2 from every category. So, as I said, the Picaros is extremely valuable, great for so many build types, it's hard not to imagine having one at my disposal. If you want to pick it up, it is out in the general loot pool to be collected, so you can farm it anywhere, but you will have the best chances by playing targeted Brazos or holster content. Next up might be a surprise pick for some, but I have the TDI Card Custom Sidearm. Now, this sidearm has huge use potential, meaning there are a lot of ways it can be incorporated into your setup, and that's because it comes with a skill tier as its attribute. Now, you do need to have the weapon in your hand for that skill tier to be active. It won't just apply a passive skill tier while holstered, but the number of things this buff can be used for is wild. If you are running away from a fight in PvP and you have a defender drone equipped, pull the card out and get an extra skill tier's worth of damage reduction while you do so. Or maybe you have the shock trap and you pull the pistol out before using the trap to get a few more extra traps equipped, or you're running a hybrid healer build. You've got the technician on for the free tier there, maybe the Picaros and the ninja bike for the 2 free tiers there. The card can function as essentially a free skill tier to allow you to roll other stuff onto your gear. It's great. Now, if you want to pick this gun up, it is a Dark Zone exclusive named item, so the Dark Zone is your best bet, with even better odds if it's targeted sidearms while you're playing. However, do keep in mind that DZ exclusives can pop up in the DZ and Countdown vendor rotations. You can grab them out of named item caches. And the card specifically came in an old season, so you have a slim chance of getting it from legacy season caches, so you do have options for how you can pursue it if you want to try and go after it. Alright, and then last but certainly not least, potentially another curveball, we've got the Chill Out mask on the list. Now, the Chill Out is a part of the Guilherme brand set, so the 1-piece bonus is 5% total armor, 2 pieces 10% health, and then the 3-piece is 1% armor regeneration. Now, the Chill Out is unique because it comes with 2 mod slots. In return, it only has 1 attribute roll, but this unlocks some pretty cool potential. It's fantastic for builds that rely on non-attribute rolling stats, stuff like specific status resistances, protection from elites, things like that. You can pair it with some improvised gear to get mod slots galore, or you can do what's really fun to do and triple up on a single stat like crit damage, getting 36% from the stat roll and the 2 mods. There's a lot of possibility, again, why I think it is deserving to be on this list. It's unique, it offers some great potential for creativity. Now, if you're looking to get one of these for yourself, unfortunately there is a caveat. The Chill Out is exclusive to the Division 2's annual holiday event, which historically runs from mid-December to late January. So if you're watching this video when it first releases, you are going to have to wait a few months to pick it up if you don't have one already, but once the event rolls around, it's quite simple to get. You just need to take out the holiday-themed loot goblin, aka the hoarder enemy, of course barring any changes from past year's acquisition methods. So that might suck to hear, but I still had to include it on the list because I think the Chill Out is a super valuable mask, and it's worth the wait to grab on when it comes back around. Alright everybody, that is my list. Those are what I consider to be the top 5 named items you need to have in the Division 2. Again, not necessarily going by what is the absolute best in the game, because there's a lot of ways to define that, but sheerly going off of power, versatility, and variety. Having these 5 items will give you a lot of great build options across all different types of content in the game. Let me know your thoughts on this list and break down everyone. If you have these items or are a more seasoned player, do you agree with my list here? Any other major named items you would recommend players try and pick up? And if you are newer and have any questions about these or named items in general, feel free to ask away. As always, I'll be super keen to read your responses below, and that's going to do it for me today, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. RogueGold. Ow.